Good morning, my little Tattle Tells. Y'all, have y'all heard the drama going down with Wendy Williams? And I'm not talking about her trying to get her iced mocha frappa latte money back from Wells Fargo Bank. No, Sherri Shepard has been named a replacement for Wendy Williams. Y'all, I got a conspiracy about this and I need to share it. But guess what? Wendy's team has already hit back and said Sherri don't got Wendy's blessing for a number of reasons. We're about to get into that too. Finally, y'all, this whole thing with dementia, this whole thing with the show, this whole game that the networks are playing, y'all, they ain't seeing heaven because I see what they're doing. Let's get into this mess. First of all, let's just say that with Wendy Williams, it is the end of an era. Now, a lot of y'all know Wendy Williams for being like, haha, funny, kooky Wendy Williams. But Wendy Williams started out in the gutter, right? She was outing people. She was telling people's business, but she did it with flair that nobody could deny. I know a lot of y'all are in love with the PG-13. I know a lot of y'all are in love with the PG-13 Wendy Williams, but let me tell you something. Wendy Williams truly came into the space where they didn't accept women that looked like her, that talked like her, that thought like her. She started in the gutter, telling rappers business. She started in the gutter, going to industry parties, watching everybody enjoy a little coca. She might have enjoyed it herself, but then telling us everything she saw. Listen, Wendy Williams got fired from how many radio stations and was one of the most hated women. But guess what? She had dream and she had a talent. And she literally refined her craft to force networks that didn't want to give her a chance to give herself a seat at the table. Now, admittedly, once she got a seat at the table, that's when y'all see the Wendy you see now. Kinder, more gentler, just ribbing people. But baby, she always had it in her to get in the gutter, and that's what we liked. You know, Wendy was messy, and we loved it because we were there every step of the way. She truly had brains, business sense, talent, and an unstoppable belief in herself where everyone, because again, y'all can sit there, utilize Wendy Williams, but I remember, right? Okay, fine, I don't remember, but I've read enough to know the streets hated Wendy. Her competition hated her. There were people telling her to shut up, sit down. I get that. But Wendy fought. And now look at her. Wendy is the queen of celebrity gossip. But just because she's the queen now don't mean we gotta forget her roots. Because her roots are actually what made her. But let me tell y'all who's trying to forget. The network execs. Even though she fought to have a seat at the table, and that's why sometimes you gotta push to have your own. But guess what? She fought to have a seat at the table, but the network still owned the table. And the network, the only reason they even gave her a chance, like all networks, is because they saw to make their money. They saw a way that she proved to them that she could be a moneymaker. Because they thought a little girl from Jersey that looked like that, talked like that, act like that, couldn't make them money. She proved that they could, and they gave her a seat at the table. But guess what? The network is showing that they still own the table. Now, before we get into why she ain't giving Sherri Shepard, right? But why she ain't giving Sherri Shepard, let's talk about conspiracy theory, right? The network looks at Wendy as a cash cow. They don't give an F about her. You see the way Wendy Williams, it's not just her show. It's the fact that a black woman that was excluded from a whole industry for so long burst away open and ended up taking over like we often do. Let's hear it for that excellence. Right? However, there were so things where it's like, you trying to give this to Michael Rappaport? You trying to give this to Leah Remini? Now, don't get me wrong. I actually watched a few shows with Leah Remini. I actually think she's actually really, really good. However, she needs her own show maybe an hour before or after Wendy. Hey, you guys, just as an aside, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Go on and hit that subscribe button and also notifications, because when I get a story, I chase it down and I add my own unique spin. Or hit the like button, just if you like my delivery. It really does help me grow, and y'all know the deal. This is YouTube. Also, if any of you guys ever love Real Housewives of New Jersey, my live recap is up. This season is so good. And also, my Tattle Tells. Let me know in the comments if you want me to review Real Housewives Girls Trip in real time now that it's on Bravo for all the people that didn't sign up for Peacock. Okay, fine. I'll get back to the mess with Wendy. Let go. Because what the networks is doing is dirty. Wendy wasn't just the best at what she did. She is a legacy. It means something to the community. The networks are trying to ignore that. There was a big divide across color lines, it was reported by The Sun in Wendy's show as to where the networks were trying to take it. However, the networks heard the thunder that were Wendy's fans saying, no, her legacy of what she did as a black woman needs to be honored. So what did they do? They put Sherri Shepard in her slot. Now let me tell you something that's slick about what they did. And this is nothing against Sherri Shepard, because Sherri Shepard's really good at what she does. The networks wanted to get Wendy out a long time ago. They don't care about Wendy. They just wanted those ad revenue dollars. And they wanted Wendy's fans. They could have given Sherri Shepard her own show under her own name. But that wasn't good enough. They wanted to find a way to siphon off all of Wendy's fan base, use her for what they could, and then throw her away. Because again, she's nothing but a cash cow and numbers. Fit the bill. She is a black woman. She is very funny. Not in a Wendy way, but, very funny, very amusing, great on TV and whatnot. They said, okay, perfect. Now let's take these things. They're even saying that Sherri, they're going to rename the show. So if you put them in Wendy's slot and you rename the show, you're just hoping that you can siphon off all of Wendy's fans. I don't understand why people don't understand this. However, he knows what's up, because Wendy been in this game too long, right? She knows what the network's doing, and she has cast her cast her glass down the way they do it, like King Richard movies. And she was Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, talking about you shall not pass. Now, she did say that she wasn't down with Sherri Shepard. I'm going to read her statement in a second. But I have to remind you guys, the reason she's doing this, I don't think it's because she has beef with Sherri. I think it's because she sees what the network is trying to do. There's also conspiracy theory that about her dementia and Wells Fargo and the way her former financial advisor went and alerted the bank that Wendy might have dementia. Wendy is a multi-million billion-dollar company, if you want to think about it. And then ad revenue that she brings the network in, wouldn't be surprised if the network was playing guilty because dirty and guilty, because every single time you saw Wendy making progress, every single time people are like, oh, Wendy's getting better, she's going to come back soon, or she's going to be there, this and that, all of a sudden there'd be a release about something that happened 2 years ago. Wendy was drinking on set 2 years ago. Wendy was running around naked, touching herself in an illicit manner 2 years ago. They show Wendy eating food, dancing with her Prada or Gucci purse in the background, while her son is like, yeah, mom, get it. And Wendy's looking good, having fun. And then all of a sudden we see, oh, she's in a wheelchair, she's confined. Don't think these reports are coming from the YouTube streets. In my opinion, they're coming from the top down, because their goal was to make fans think that Wendy was washed up, she was over, she can't come back. You could accept a Michael Rappaport. I can't stand him. Or a Leah Remini, which she's good at what she does, but she needs a different time slot. And then they said, okay, fine. Fine, we'll put a black woman in. Sherri Shepard. But you heard what's on the street, right? Wendy can't even sit up. Wendy don't have access to her funds. Wendy got that dementia. Right? So we would accept Sherri. Now, this ain't nothing to do with Sherri. I wish her luck. But let's look at how Wendy sees the game the network's playing. And Wendy's been in this game long enough, and guess what? She's pushing back. Because she said, guess what? Sherri can get a bag, the network can get a bag, but you ain't doing it on my dime. All right, Queen Wendy, let's hear this. Now, they said, this is reported from The Sun, that Sherri Shepard does not have Wendy Williams' blessing to take over as the ailing host. But then they said she's jealous of her successor. Shut up. Wendy ain't jealous of nobody. Again, Wendy, in my opinion, it's just my speculation, I think after the stuff with Kelvin, and that's why it's important, you got to protect your energy, including the people that lay next to you in your bed. I think she's heartbroken. I think she's relapsed. I think when she relapsed in her 20s, 30s, and 40s, she might have been able to climb out of it, but every time it became harder and harder. Wendy is now 57. And remember how Wendy used to brag that she'd be partying all night? And then boom, she would get to work. Well, listen, at 57, right? You know the difference between in your 20s and 30s partying all night with alcohol. Not Wendy's partying, right? It's harder to get up because you got a hangover. Imagine if you relapse and you're 57 and your body already can't take it's harder and harder for her to come up. Now it starts off saying that a source close to the Wendy Williams show said that Wendy not returning calls or emails from producers has left them with no other option than to move on to Sherri without her input. Let me tell y'all something. This is all game. That's why Wendy was ignoring the calls or emails. One, y'all was already moving on to Sherri. Two, why is it every time the producers get in touch with Wendy, new gossip gets released about her? Now, I don't know whether it's true or not, but I do know it's the timing. Would you be picking up phones and emails to someone that literally every time you talk to them, a new story come out and you're just like, girl, why you tried it? But Wendy did say Sherri does not have Wendy's blessing, and all of this is being done without her involvement. Meanwhile, second source close to Wendy added that the host is extremely jealous and can't stand people filling in for us. It's really hurt her seeing her own fans give Sherri glowing reviews in her absence. Now, here's the thing. I don't think Wendy's people said she was jealous, right? I do think that Wendy is trying to mobilize her fan base to be like, don't let anybody sit on my throne till I come back. And honestly, just out of respect from what Wendy did and as much money as they gave those network executors, they should be keeping her throne warm. Get this. They also go to say a show insider, this is the network, saying production's being very cautious not to upset Wendy's extremely loyal fan base. So they're calling Sherri 54 a permanent guest host, but basically it's now Sherri's show. The insider added that the production will wait to remove logos and signage until September or even October in deference to fans who are still holding out hope. Sherri will be working to really court Wendy's fans over the coming months with fan events, FaceTiming with them, and focusing on bringing them along with her on this next chapter. Sherri is in it to win it. She knows this is the opportunity of a lifetime. Production's being very strategic as they roll out Sherri's takeover. As the Sun previously reported, Wendy is not expected to return to her show for some time now, and Sherri has been anticipated as a replacement for months. TMZ even said that when Sherri was named as a permanent guest host, that production was not entirely closed door to a potential Wendy return, despite the host having been absent from her show since July 2021. There y'all have it. If y'all don't see what's going on, I'm telling you, they just want Wendy's fans, and the more they release mess, that Wendy can't sit up, Wendy can't eat, Wendy's walking around going, ooh, like a ghost from Scooby-Doo, the easier it is for fans to let go of Wendy in their heart, their soul, and mind. But make it make sense. How Wendy not even knowing what planet she on, but yet you guys are emailing her and returning calls? If you guys are talking about Wendy is on some Weekend and Bernie's time, then explain to me how come her management didn't even get back. Seriously. These are things we actually need to ask. What is it, network execs? Is Wendy incapacitated or is she not? Y'all trying to steal all the money that she made y'all for yourself and cut her out, or are you not? You guys, this is what I'm saying. I'm keeping an eye on this, but make sure you peep game, because that's exactly what the network is running. And every time something comes out, is hopeful that Wendy is returning to health and she's fighting her demons and she'll be back soon, as every time something is released from the top, don't blame it on YouTube, from the top on down, that Wendy is a ghost of herself. She can't even think. She don't even know what planet she's on. But yet you sending calls and emails and Wendy's releasing statements. Man, get out of here. Anyway, my little Tattle Tells, I'll talk to you later. And don't forget, my Real Housewives of New Jersey recap is up for episode 2, y'all. If y'all ever like Real Housewives, if you're looking for some stuff, make sure you get into it. It's super funny and detailed. You know how I do. Also, let me know if y'all want me to review Real Housewives Girls Trip now that it's on Bravo in real time.